What's going on, guys? We're back with another video. We're in the shop with the Loadstar sitting here, and yeah, I put about 200 miles ish on the truck since I got it together in the last video you seen, if you've seen the last video. But yeah, it runs good, drives good. There's just a few small things I need to do to it that hopefully shouldn't be too much work to get it all up and ready so I can drive it 2 hours away up to Reno, Nevada for Hot August Nights, and that's in 5 days. So I'm not sure if this video will be out before then or whatnot, but that's my timeline for right now. So I'm gonna do a quick little breakdown for the truck for anybody that hasn't seen it yet, and if you have seen it already, well, you get to see it again. And thank you guys for the support on the last video I just uploaded, because that one did pretty good compared to a lot of the videos I've been making, so happy to see that. But quick breakdown of the truck. It's a 66 International Loadstar 1600 sitting on a 99 Dodge 3500 dually chassis, two-wheel drive. And the whole back half of the frame is been modified with the diamond plate and the plate, and then underneath is like a steel tube, a square tubing frame, and all these top plates are removable. You got the gooseneck hitch, 24-inch Alcoa wheels from Dually King Industries, and custom fabricated bumper you can see back there, mud flap hangers for a semi-truck, Freightliner fuel tanks, and some 7-inch stacks. And then drivetrain is everything off of the 99 Dodge. So it has the 24 valve VP44 Cummins, pretty much all stock, just has the intake and obviously the aftermarket intercooler that I had to use for this truck. And it's got a pack brake, exhaust brake right there on the back of the turbo, and then 4-inch exhaust, no mufflers, no resonators. And then for computer, it's using the stock Dodge computer with the diesel conversions harness. And then for the transmission, it's the 47RE automatic out of the Dodge. I know I should do a manual, everybody keeps saying that, but I just used what I had. If I had a manual, I'd use it. And for the tranny, it uses the Firepunk anteater controller and like lockup controller and all that. And all the wiring on the truck, for the engine at least, is the diesel conversions harness, and then they have their own little fuse box and everything that I have in there. And then the rest of the wiring with like the lights and the dash and everything behind the truck, I did all that myself with just the universal kit. Interior, still original seat, no headliner, no carpet, just custom doghouse around the engine, and then some sound insulation on the firewall, low car shifter, and just some basic eBay gauges. And as for suspension on this thing, the front is completely stock, just as a Dodge would come. And then the rear has 2-inch shackles and 2-inch front mounts, so a total of 4-inch lowering. And then I did get rid of the overload leafs that are usually on top of these leafs, and I plan on installing helper bags, because I like to be able to tow, and if I have a lot of weight on there, I need to be able to air it up. And having the air on board just to be able to air the back up, just for like steep driveways and stuff like that, would be nice. Well guys, I just can't really get over how good this truck runs and drives, and there's only a couple little things I need to do to it to make it completely I'd say done, but not really done, because the projects are never done. But what I need to do to it next is better heat insulation for the interior, because it gets super hot on the passenger side, and that's just because the turbo and exhaust is super close to the firewall. So I did order some exhaust wrap for the downpipe, and I can probably put some around the exhaust brake tube right there. And then I'll probably look into a turbo blanket for the exhaust housing on the turbo. And then I got some trans tunnel and firewall insulation from DEI, and that'll just go on the inside of the firewall around the turbo area where it gets the hottest. But overall, it's still gonna get super hot no matter what I do, really. It's just the engine's so big, so close to the firewall. You can see this side of the firewall already has this kill mat stuff from Amazon, and I think it's more just a sound deadener and not really the heat, because it still gets super hot enough where the butyl tape that is on the back side of it started melting off. But I think this stuff I'm gonna leave here, and I might go over it with some more stuff in the future, like better heat and soundproofing, and then carpet and whatever else goes with that. But that's what we got in here for now. I'm gonna focus on the engine bay side of things, because that's where all the heat is really. And then obviously some sound deadening on the roof and behind the seat and on the floor, just to make this cab feel a little bit less like a tin can like it is. Because I mean, it'll always sound like a tin can because it's just what it is. It's super old, there's not much to it, but I'm gonna try to make it the best I can, really, just to make it more enjoyable to drive, because it's mainly driven on the freeway, long hauling. I've been taking it to work for a couple weeks now, and that's 25 miles each way, just up and down the freeway. I mean, it does great, it's just really loud, and I might even consider putting some type of resonator or muffler on it, but there's really not a lot of room for it under the truck, so I might have to just stick with what we got here. Well, first thing I'm gonna do here, get the front of the truck up on jack stands so I can crawl underneath there and possibly take the exhaust off, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to wrap it with it in the truck still. So, oh. Go ahead and get this front lifted up. Need to put some wood behind the tires because it was kind of rolling back a little bit, even though it's in park. I don't want all that weight against the parking paw on the tranny. Got the jack stands on there. They're just on the control arms because there's really nowhere else low enough for the jack stands to fit. So control arm, and then I'm going to leave the floor jack under there on the cross member just to hold up a little bit of weight. But I think we're good to go. I'm just going to be in the back area under there, so I think I have plenty of room. I probably should have unbolted that downpipe before lifting the truck up, because now I can't reach it, but we'll figure it out. I don't remember if it's a 14 or a 13. 13. A lot of the stuff on this truck, everything I added, like on the body or chassis, it's all standard, but the Dodge itself and the Cummins is metric. So gotta have a wide variety of tools to be able to work on this thing. Let that fall as long as it hits the ground. Might have to come over from the side. I think it's loose. I can't see it. There's nothing to stand on. It's off. Okay, and I got one slip joint under the truck. Nine 16ths. I can see it from here. take it all the way off, but we did. Okay. That's what I was afraid of. There's not really enough room to get this thing out of that slip joint. It's close. Somewhat close. Well, we're hitting the transmission mount right here. There's nowhere to go. I guess I'll have to drop the transmission mount, which would get it out of our way here anyway. But that means I need to use the floor jack to hold this thing up. Shoot! Alright, we need the floor jack over here to hold the tranny up. Okay. Well, that wasn't too bad. It was kind of inconvenient to take the trans mount off to get it off, but at least it's easy. So, got the downpipe over here on the table. I got a little bit of this stuff, and then I have more of it showing up tomorrow. So I'm just gonna start up here, go down as far as I can with that stuff, and then once I run out, I'll just wait for the new stuff, and I'm gonna go over the whole thing again. So this top half closest to the firewall will be double wrapped. So I'm going to see if I can find my metal zip ties for this before I do anything. They should be with my regular zip ties, ideally. Yep, there we go. I only have a couple of them. So I might actually save, I only have 4. So I think I'm gonna put it on with a plastic zip tie, and then after I double wrap it, I'll use the metal. Get a piece of tape to hold that up. It might work, might not work. Alright, when you guys are doing this stuff, the titanium exhaust wrap, or I guess any exhaust wrap really, make sure you wear gloves, and if you can, long sleeves, because this stuff will make you really itchy because it's a bunch of little fiberglass fibers. I don't have long sleeves here in the shop with me, so gloves it is. I'm not going to worry about wrapping this super thick with like a ton of overlap, just because I know I'm going to go over it again with the other material. But just this first part will be kind of thick, just so I can make sure it has enough wrap to hold itself. Keeps wanting to twist. Work with me now, work with me. That's all it wrote. I knew that wouldn't be enough, but got me started. Well, it's the next day now. We got some parts in the mail. Got the heat wrap. Actually came with some more metal zip tie things. And then I got this firewall insulation, and it's like aluminum with like a little fiberglass backing in there, and it's sticky, so I should be able to trim it and fit it on the firewall behind the engine and around the exhaust. And then I got a whole nother box of the 3mm sound deadening mat. And that'll be for the interior. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this covered up. I'm just going to install it with the plastic zip ties to hold it, and then install the metal zip ties. This stuff seems a lot flakier than the DEI brand. We'll see how it does. Just looking at it, I'm getting itchy. All right. I feel like I can feel it through the gloves, like it's stabbing through. Alright, camera died in the middle of that. I didn't want to take my gloves off and get the fiberglass everywhere. So I just finished it up. I used safety wire to tie it on. I used a lot up there because it was kind of loose because the tubing goes from 4 to 3. And that little angle piece right there was really hard to get the wrap on. So I put a lot of safety wire and made sure that's secure. Because the stainless zip ties that came with it were not long enough to get around the tubing. But that's all on there, good to go. I'm gonna go take a look at the firewall and see what I can do for the heat shield before I put the exhaust back in, just so I can have it out of my way while I'm doing the heat shield. And then the little bit of leftover wrap I have, I think I'm gonna throw it on the back of the exhaust housing, right where the exhaust brake is. But I need to get in here and measure and see what I gotta do to get that heat shield in here, because it's not super bendable, so we'll figure it out. Might need to get on the ground and do it from below. Alright, I got this first piece cut kind of roughly to shape. I think this stuff's going to be a pain to get installed because it's such a tight little area. But I'll do my best. Just gotta trim the excess stuff that's hanging off. I think that's good for that piece. Well, I didn't get all of it filmed because that was a pain, but I had to get under the truck and cut it piece by piece and stick it on the firewall. And I went all the way from the floor, then up the firewall, and all the way over on top of the engine. So the whole passenger side on the whole firewall is covered. So I think that'll be plenty of heat shield on the firewall, along with the wrap on the downpipe to keep the heat out of the passenger foot area. So pretty happy with that. Now I'm just gonna try to get underneath there and get the downpipe reinstalled. Camera angle may not be the best, but I'm already under here, So I'm just gonna go for it. Alright, I got it in the slip joint. Now I'm gonna go get the bolt started on the turbo before I tighten any of this back here. Let me get my ratchet and try to tighten it down a little bit. I only got like a half a turn on there, but it grabbed. Alright. It started. Let's see if we can get the backside one. Okay, well, let's get back underneath the truck and align that. Dump pipes all back on, transmission mount all back on. Got everything tight up here. Everything's tight down below. Good to go down here. Let's get the truck back on the ground, and then we'll start this thing up and let that exhaust wrap heat cycle. Fire this thing up, pull it outside, and then I'll let it run for a while outside so it can heat cycle the exhaust wrap. The exhaust wrap's going to smoke a little bit. On this thing is super loud. You can hear the engine through it. Kind of strange. You can hear the intake noise pretty loud just at idle. But I'm gonna let this thing sit here and idle for a while, get up to temp, and then I'll go drive it around a little bit. I'm gonna try to record the intake noise if you can hear it on the camera. Close up the shop doors, and then we'll go take this thing for a drive around the neighborhood a little bit, get some heat in the exhaust. Set the camera up in here. truck idle for a little bit longer out here. And while that's going on, I'm gonna clean the shop up a little bit, put some tools away, and then we'll jump back on the camera and start doing some sound deadening stuff. If it's not tonight, it'll be tomorrow morning. Alright, we're back in the shop. It's the next day. I went ahead and drove the truck around a bit today. Went to the hardware store, grocery store, a couple things, just to get some more heat in it. And it's not smoking anymore. I don't smell it burning off anymore. So I think it's good to go for the exhaust. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean out the interior, pull the seat out, and then I'm gonna go to town with the sound deadening mat, do the floor, the back of the cab, the roof, and then I'd really like to take the door panels off and put it on the inside of the doors, because these doors are just so hollow. So I'm gonna stick the camera down and then just start ripping this interior out, and then I'll get it all clean and vacuumed. Alright, it's allowed to fold now. Yep. And I'm just going to take this seat cover off because it's falling apart, and it's still got the factory leather one below it. Alright, got the floor all cleaned up. I just used glass cleaner and a rag, wiped all the dust out. And then I got this sound deadening mat from Amazon. It's a sillless. I believe this is the 3mm thick. Well, I got the interior most of the way back together. Let me turn this fan off, it's kind of loud. Interior's back together, sound deadening's all in, seats back in. Put some up on the roof, but I used all the mats I had. Otherwise I would have made this like a lot fuller, but I just spaced them out because all I had left. And then I cut out the little rubber floor mat for the passenger side over here. And then I pulled that side out on my side, or on the driver's side, put the sounding down and then put the mat back on. Well, let's go cruise this thing over, and I'm actually going to check on the t-shirts I have being printed for the Loadstar, and then I'll announce those in this video and put them up on the website so you guys can order them. So let's go take this thing for a cruise and go check on our t-shirts. We made it here, a whole whopping half-mile away to the print shop. Truck drove great, sound deadening's good, but let's run in here and see what they got going on. Bun Prints, Roseville. Sticker Fritz for all the stickers I get too. See what we're working on in here. What up?
Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing?
The sweatshop.
Hey man, we're just printing one of the last of Guzzy's Customs new shirts. Got the design right here. I'm going to show you how we get it done. So, get our palette nice and hot. Make sure it's nice and sticky. Throw that shirt on. So it's going to register, make sure it all is centered. I'm going to grab those shoulder seams, smooth it out. Now we're sucking a little bit of the moisture out of the shirt so we can make sure we have a nice smooth printing surface. Alright, we're going to start with our first layer, the white. We're going to give it a couple solid passes of this so we get a nice and bright print. Alright, get that second layer, put all that in through. Alright.
I might need a black and white one on an extra t-shirt.
Hey, we can do that, dude. We can just hit it with the white. Honestly, I think with the design,
the white looks good without the other colors.
it can pop, especially with like white on black. I think
Yeah.
colors pop nice. Yeah, we can do that now. Alright. Now let's add our gray to the design. There we go. Let's give it one more layer of that gray. So it gives a nice and bright pop. Alright.
I mean, it's quieter in here than it is in my shop, so.
True, then if it survives the,
It survives the
custom
shop.
Yeah. That we should be good. I think I'm actually gonna hit it with one more layer bright just to get, or white, just to give it a nice brighter look. I think it might not have been fully cured as I wanted on that last color, so I'm just gonna hit it with one more. Doesn't hurt. Oh, that there you go. I like that better. Alright, now we'll let all that cure. And then we'll hit it with the last color, orange.
Have you ever accidentally put the ink on the plain board?
I have done that many times. That is the worst feeling right there, for sure. Or another tough one is when you pull it off before you do the last color.
Oh,
that
yeah.
one especially stings.
And you gotta get it realigned, or you can't really.
Yep, once you pull it off, it's done. Unless it's a design that's really easy to line back up, but most of the time, yeah, once you do that, I think we're good. I just wanted the gray to pop a little more. Let's do the orange. We're going to give that a few layers so we get a nice and bright orange print. There we go. Got that full back print.
in the pizza oven.
Yep, we're gonna put it through our brick-fired oven. It's gonna come out nice and toasty. A little hint of pepperoni, and we'll hit the fronts next.
All right, time for the front.
All right, we're gonna slap that thing right there, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere. All right,
That's the orange one.
line up. Spot. Suck a little bit of that moisture out of there.
Probably 2 coats as well with this one.
Yeah, I think we'll just do it a solid 2 coats so it's nice and bright, but we want to keep that nice line detail. So if we start doing 3 or 4 layers, it sometimes can blend together a little bit.
I'm sure it looks perfect on the camera, but it doesn't have the detail we can see.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they might not know. We can trick them. All right. There we go. Nice. Keep it nice and flooded. All right. Let it cool down for a sec.
Those little lines right under the NorCal are like so small that it starts to flood into it.
Exactly. So that's why just 2. Just keep it right there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can start looking a little messy. We want to keep that nice detail.
Otherwise, just gotta change the graphic a little bit, make the lines bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes too many coats, like on that fine detail, it can just start to kind of blend. So you want to be cautious of that as you print. Keep your pressure good on the squeegee too, nice and straight. When you start kind of leaning into stuff, it can also kind of blend. There you go. All right, we'll hit it with that orange. Give this 3 coats too, just to make it nice and bright.
I'm gonna have to go photo shoot after this, get some pictures.
Oh yeah, dude, we can even model it, you know, model it in the basketball shorts. Anything you need. I can even take the photos for you, just you model it. Alright.
Sweet. Yeah, it's kind of blown out on the camera.
Oh, the lighting's probably a little hard. Nice.
Because the black.
It's weird. It's like we got this light. Sometimes the skylight's a little weird. Throws it off. And
Back in the oven. Alright, I'm gonna let you get to work. I'm gonna go back to work.
Alright,
And
we're gonna get to work and we will
be back to get these finished up t-shirts.
Yes sir.
I got photos to take now.
Woo! Yeah, we got some modeling to do in this heat, man. We'll get the nice sweat shots. Get it happening. Hey, well, good to see you, Chris.
Sweet. See ya. Thank you,
I
dude.
will see you here in a bit, man.
Alright, we got a couple t-shirts for photos for the website. I'm just gonna drive, go get some lunch, and head back to the shop. I gotta make a list of things that need to be done because I always forget stuff if I don't have a list. So I'm gonna cruise back home, or I guess get lunch first, and then I'll check back in at the shop. This camera's about to die, so we'll see you guys at the shop. Alright guys, I actually ended up just hanging out at the house and relaxing for the rest of the day yesterday. Drove the truck to work today, drove it home, drove around town a little bit, got some videos and photos of it. Got the shirts picked up yesterday, and those are live on the website now, guzziescustoms.com, and I'll put a link in the bio as well on the screen here. So head over there, buy a t-shirt to support me, help support the shop, and so I can continue building stuff like this and making content. But thank you guys for checking out the video. Stay tuned for the next one, and I'll make sure I get some clips before we go to Hot August Nights and cruise around with our friends. So once again, thank you guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.